Alright, welcome to Historia part, I believe, 5. It might be 4. I don't know. Whatever number it says in the title. But last time we left off, our character Doug remembers who Max was and is now traveling across. However, his sister thinks he's on a fever dream and he doesn't want his mom and dad to find out. And it's getting really hard for Doug to decipher whether or not Max and the beast he saw in the beginning were real, or if it was just a figment of his imagination. And this is a long chapter. But right now, his dad is apologizing for his actions of the night that led up to the events of the story. No, it's not. I went overboard and it's not healthy. I just got so worried about you and your sister, and I don't want you to end up like a screw up like your uncle. That crutch. Dad is exactly the top of the social ladder, but he was still a few rings up from his kleptomaniac brother. I get it. Anyways, I want you to know I want to support you, but I can see you're making the same mistakes I did, and I want to stop you from doing that. The small sparks of anger flare up at me. Normally I'd bite back, but I want this to be over. I have some other things to worry about today. I know. Thanks, Dad. He seems to accept my thanks. He's probably expecting me to fight back as well. Alright, I see you're working. I'll leave you to it. You're a good kid, you know that. Yeah, I know. He taps on the door, jam, and pulls the door closed. Finally, I'm left alone. I tap down the fire that's starting to grow in my belly. There's no point in getting pissed off and starting another fight tonight. Until I can trust my body again, it's not worth making too much fuss. I need to clear my head, so I grab a light jacket and my helmet and head outside. I'm going for a ride. Be back in a bit. Oh, you got your helmet? Okay, you got your helmet? Oh. My mother's trained me well. No riding without a helmet. I used to think it was too nerdy, but she showed me some photos of accidents. That was enough to scare me into protecting my skull. Stay off the main roads. Stay on the main roads and be safe. Sure thing, Mom. I pump my legs hard against the wind in my face. The blood surging through my body helped me clear my mind. Forgetting the wilder dreams of the surface or the stomach cramps. Forgetting about Max and the epic fights in the night. Just push some more. All these work themselves in the end. Just push through and you work it out. That's how I've dealt with everything so far. Deal with what you have to and filter out the rest. But then again, I've dealt with something like this before. Stop thinking and push. I chase myself and letting my mind wander and charge my legs up for another sprint. The school whizzes past the left and I head towards the river. At this hour, there's hardly any people in sight. I'm not sure why Mom's worried. There aren't even cars out. I see someone walking their dogs, but apart from that, nothing. I turn to the right and continue parallel to the river towards the industrial areas. The lighting is a little lower here, but then again, there are fewer people. I need to go fast. As the road levels out, I pedal with increased fever. My stomach cramps slightly, and maybe I'm pushing too hard. I grit my teeth and continue forward, but the throbbing in my stomach grows with every rotation of its wheels until I develop in full cramps. I slam the brakes and skid to a stop. Ozone fills my nostrils. What the hell? I speak before I can stop my spell. No sooner has the words left my mouth, my stomach is churning in full knots, and I let my bike fall to the ground. There it was, across the road. I can see it. Flickering rainbow lights emitting from the windows nearby. Colors that I saw less than a day before, emitting from bodies of the same. Vomit churns in my throat and I swallow it back down. I need to confront the beast now. I need to know which of my memories is real. I rush to the front doors, but there's no one. Let me in. Must look like a madman paneling in the streets, but I feel the thick air like in the classroom morning. I'm stuck in this kind of bubble. I look to the houses around me. They shimmer in the distances of the hot day. Like a man has opened the door possesses me, as if I weren't completely solid, but somehow it's not completely real. Inside the house, I can hear the sickening chewing and see the stroppings of flashes across the hallway. I charge in the house, hoping to save whoever's inside. I charge in the house, hoping that I can save whoever's inside. But before I can cross the threshold, the serpent appears at the end of the hall. Get down. From behind me, I hear a girl's voice over the cacophony of the approaching serpent. My legs don't want to wait for my brain to curl up beneath me before I can think about crouching onto the floor. The glass bottle sails over my head and shatters on the floor, spraying liquid everywhere. The serpent retreats briefly before charging directly at us, exposing its infinite maw and rows of teeth on the line. I let out a scream like a wave crashing over my head, and I collapse my hands over my ears to block out the noise. Oh shit, get out of there! Oh, look at her. At the doorway, I see a small figure, silhouette, beckoning towards her with a glass bottle in hand. My instincts kick in, and I dive right to the door into the darkness of the residential streets. I feel the serpent behind me, but the silhouette hurls a bottle over my head and shatters it above the serpent. Momentum carries the roll across the lawn as I tumble, and I see the snake's body and burrows up and arches on the floor like a switch as the sound of the draining water is gone. The noise of the stubborn street returns, as does the panting breath of the girl. I turn to see the house, but the light is gone now. The door in front of us is intact as if nothing happened. I pick myself off and brush off the grass with my clothes. As I approach the front door, I run my hand over the solid wood. I mirror. Like Max, someone died here, eaten by a giant snake. A lump in my throat, but I feel a hand on my shoulder. So, is this our new routine? Who are you? And you saw it too? The tension starts to subside as I realize the two of us saw the same thing. Maybe I'm not going crazy. At least, not in the did I really see a snake eat my friend crazy. Of course, but it reacted, right? To the turnpike. You mean the bottle? It seemed pretty pissed off. The girl seemed happy in some sort of way. She clutches her fist in victory and pumping up emotion. She seems familiar, but I can't place her on it. So you know what's going on? The girl stops in her celebration for a second and looks at me. She's wearing my school uniform. Wait, you go to my school, right? The girl rolls her eyes. Yes, genius, I do. It's me, Michelle. I draw a blank. I must have seen this person at school, but somehow she's never registered in my brain. She seems short and dirty, and her uniform's muddy and probably torn. It's hard to tell in the moonlight. Sure, I'm Doug. She keeps staring at me. Did I say something wrong? Are you serious? Do you honestly not know who I am? Oh, you don't remember anything from last night. It sounded more like a question, more like a realization. Why did she know anything about last night? Before I can open my mouth, she waves her hand with a bitter smile. Haven't you heard of me? Everybody else has. I'm in your sister's class, you know. Oh, really? No, wait, last night. I remember some things. It's like having two memories from last night. Ooh. Okay, from what I see, it's like one is about where he's trying to explain a bit. The rainbow serpent, excuse me. It's called a rainbow serpent. Why does she seem so upset? No, she seems so friendly. She won't even look me in the eye. I don't get it. What's her deal? You really don't know anything about this, do you? Afraid not. If she can help me understand what the hell's going on, I think I can stomach her attitude. Well, I can tell two things. One, you're not crazy, and neither am I. Two, it's not going to come back to this house. Actually, three, you owe me a hot drink. Two by now if I'm keeping score. What for? I'm saving your arse. Twice. The last word is icy cold. What? Never mind. She sighs deeply in me. I wish I could know why. She saved me now, kind of. Did she do the same for yesterday? No matter how much I strain my brain, nothing wakes up. Her face didn't awaken in any of my memories either. If the memories of the monster are true, how did I get back home last night? There's a diner near here. Buy me a coffee and I'll call it even. Sure. I don't... he kind of jumped into the monster, so I'm almost 100% sure someone had to save him. So I believe her. It's like, fuck you, and dove right into the monster, so. I collect my bike and push it as I walk alongside Michelle. Rainbow serpent, you say? Yeah, rainbow serpent. You heard it, right? Or did you sleep through history class? I thought it was some Aboriginal legend. Bingo. But it didn't create the rivers in the land. Didn't it create rivers in the land or then die or something? Did that look dead to you? Guess not. Fair point. Michelle's standoffish nature rubs against me, so I decide to keep my mouth shut. Before long, the yellow glow of a fast food restaurant fills the road ahead, and we shuffle into the warm eatery. The cashier gives us a look of disgruntled indifference, disappointed that we've interrupted his mostly solitary night shift with an order. Steam rolls off the top of the 2 cups as we sit at the cream-colored plastic tables. I say the girl across from me in the harsh fluorescent light of the restaurant, and I can see her uniform is quite stained, like she's been crawling through the undergrowth, and it's not quite torn, but definitely well worn. Luckily, our school doesn't care much about our uniforms, or else she'll be in trouble. What are you looking at? Nothing. Your uniform, I guess. Michelle checks herself, noticing the mud stains as if for the first time. It's a little dirty. So what? Nothing. I thought you might have been in some sort of accident or something. That's so rude. Nah, just patrolling. Patrolling? For the serpent. My mind instantly resets, forgetting about the stories in the muddied uniform. Why'd you call it a rainbow serpent? That's because what it is. Though, I thought that much would be obvious. And you've seen it before. Well, 3 times now. But once before this week, and it was a long time ago. What is it? That, I don't know. All I know is it eats people. And where it does it. It's like it never existed. Like Max. I choke up a second before continuing. Last night, it ate my best friend Max. We used to do everything together. But today, no one even knew he existed. I wasn't even sure he was real myself until I saw that thing again. Oh, there's Max. So you're saying that he was eaten and people forget about him? Michelle shakes her head. No, it's more like he never existed in the first place. People who get eaten are erased from history. Then why do I remember? You touched the serpent, right? I'm not sure how, but that's why. He's touched the serpent on multiple occasions that night. He jumped into the serpent, he touched the serpent with a pen, he walked right through the serpent, he was cut, he vomited on the serpent, he touched that serpent way too much. So that's why he remembers. I recall the instant sensation of the void in contact with the serpent. It really did feel like there was some sort of disturbing reality lurking within the beast. So that means you... Yes. Michelle toys with her coffee cup between the 2 palms of her hand. It was my aunt and uncle. They came to visit us after we moved here. The first night they slept in the living room. A weird noise woke me up and I went down curious. When I got down, I saw the horrible serpent there where they slept. I tried to stop it, but I couldn't. My parents woke up and they couldn't remember my aunt and uncle were ever in the house, or that they even existed at all. My parents even showed me their wedding photos to prove it to me. They simply weren't there. They thought I was crazy. Both my aunt and uncle were deleted from history. That's exactly what happened to Max. When I went to his house today, there was some woman living there. No one at school remembers him. It's like he's never existed. For years I thought I was the only one, that I made it up, that it was a dream. So that's why you go patrolling. I need to find it. But you've only seen it 3 times. Yes, to be frank, I thought I was going crazy. Apart from Wiram, no one else believed me. He's not exactly the most people you call sane. Wiram? He's a friend of sorts. Never mind. I decided to leave the subject. So how did you find me tonight? Michelle looked away, avoiding the questioning gaze. I just did alright. Young girl turns her head back at me. Same as last night. Last night? Anyways, I saw the light serpent, so I went to check it out. She answers quickly and suddenly gets upset. Talking to her is difficult. I feel like she'd bite my head off if the question's the wrong one. But I need answers desperately. And yesterday, did you see what happened? Did you see the serpent eating Max? No, but I believe you. No one else will believe you. Ever. Except me. I guess that makes us Confederates then. She squirms the cheap plastic covered seat for a moment before answering. Those words seemed to clear her sour mood instantly. I guess. So what next? Next? How do I get Max back? You can't get him back. He's gone. I don't even know who you're talking about. I'm one of the few people on this planet that will ever even believe you. Once you're in the belly of the beast. She makes a disappearing motion with her hands. Just like that? Just like that. I don't think so. I think that there's a chance. Because Max keeps appearing. His name keeps appearing. Doug keeps seeing Max. I don't think Max is gone. I think there is a chance, and I think that's what Historia is going to do. They're going to give you a chance to save Max, but I think you're risking the girl. That's where I'm thinking at this point. Because I think there was a chance to even go back to get Max, but I had no clue where. I think you're risking her life to do it. Depression washed over me as a wave of memories of Max tumble in my mind. Memories that have been erased from everyone's history. Everyone except mine. Suddenly I feel alone, tormented and alone. How can such a great person as Max cease to exist? Until now I wasn't ready to accept it, but seeing the dirty matter of fat girl explain things somehow makes me realize that this is for real. Max is gone. Dead. Worse than dead. Erased. I can never talk to anyone about this. Suddenly, I realized something too. How long ago did you say your uncles and aunts were attacked? I didn't, but 5 years this summer. So she would have been 10. And you've never told anyone? Yes and no. When I told people, they thought I was crazy. I don't know if I dreamed it or not, so I kept my mouth shut. And you went patrolling every night. Michelle said, for 5 years she was thinking she was crazy. 5 years of sneaking out and to go and patrol. 5 years of keeping your mouth shut about something you desperately needed to talk about. Dealing with the death of someone close is painful, like daggers in the heart. Even wanting to curl up and cry for Max, but I know I can't. But Michelle never even got that chance. I recall the sheer terror that flowed through me when I saw the serpent. How on earth would a 10-year-old react to that? Words fail me. Well, thank you. For helping me out. You're welcome. So what now? Same as always, I'm going to keep searching for the serpent. And kill it. Kill it? That thing ruined my life. Yes, I'm going to kill it. How? I don't know. But I'm going to find it. I'm not going to find out sitting here. Okay, come on. Calm down or they'll kick us out. My harsh whisper calms Michelle down, but I glance over at the counter. The sole worker's nowhere to be seen. We could probably start a rock concert and you wouldn't care about the noise. Michelle, however, takes this cue to calm down slightly. Sorry, I got a little excited. Yeah, I guess. It is a wild story, but I can understand why no one else would believe you. At least now you do. There's Max again! I think Max is trying to say something. I kinda don't have a choice at this point. Michelle swirls her cup before drinking the rest of her coffee. Thanks for the drink. At least tonight we saw that thing and reacts to terps. We're allies now, right? I gulp and realize I'm being forced into partnership with this ill-groomed girl. Allies. In any case, it won't be going back tonight, that's for sure. We should get some sleep. Tomorrow's another day. Michelle seems a little too triumphant. Then, again, after 5 years of self-doubt, it would be liberating to know that you were right all along. Patrolling, you mean? Of course, partner. We're partners. That's heavy in my mind, but if what she's telling me is true and Max isn't coming back, I think I can join her for some revenge. Where do we meet then? Don't worry, I'll find you. See you. Michelle lets herself out the restaurant and dissolves into the inky black night beyond the extreme lights. I finish my own drink before heading out into the night. The ride back to my house was painfully lonely, made worse by the realization I can't publicly mourn for my friend, ever. What Michelle told me appears to be true. No one has heard of Max before. If a real person has died, everyone would gather around me and support me. But I'd seen it before. When I was a year 7, a senior was killed in a car crash. The school practically turned into a therapy center for a month. I don't understand why at the time, but now I do. And yet, if I bring anything up, I'm going to be sent into therapy, and not to grieve, but to cure my insanity. I sniffle back tears as the wind brushes past my face. I hope my eyes don't give away what I do when I get home. Thankfully, it appears the house is silent, and I manage to get into the room without suspicion. I stare at the ceiling, impossible to sleep. Tales of rainbow serpents mean nothing to me right now. I play the memories, trying to place Max's face front and center. The trees we used to climb, jumping off rocks into the river, riding our bikes into the quarries outside of town. But the harder I focus on his face, the harder it gets to remember his features. I pull out my phone and try to find photos of him. It's no use. Just like Michelle said, erased from history. I know that I took photos last week, but now some stranger looks back at me from the screen. New timeline, new friends. What on earth is this? I'm gonna try to see if I can quickly finish up this night. My frustration vents my mouth involuntarily, and I push down my phone on the bluish. My room is practically dark, allowing me to see the generations of light. I try to see Max's face in the face to the floor, but the efforts. All I see is that shifting rainbow serpent skin. Its multiple blinking eyes and its row of teeth framing its red maw. I shudder. Adrenaline keeps me from noticing too many details, but now my mind recreates the scenarios. I have no choice. My grief is replaced with terror as the images swirl in the darkened room. And like that, the sound of a contained tsunami combined with a thunderstorm and an internal torrent of noise. I choke up a little, realizing that this world might have been the last thing Max saw in this universe. He must have been terrified. Alone and terrified. I squeeze my eyes and curl up on my bed. I can feel the tears well up in my eyes, but I pay no heed. All I want right now is to hold someone, anyone, and have them tell me it was alright, that this is a bad dream, and that this Michelle was conspiring to make me feel bad. But deep down, I knew this was my reality. Max is dead, and I couldn't lay a finger on the beast that killed him. I couldn't even run. I feel powerless, useless, scared. Now I understand Michelle's passion. A 10-year-old girl alone won't have the benefits of self-control I have. She must have been driven crazy knowing what was real and what was implanted by the servant. At least I have an advantage. Michelle. She said something about someone else. Wiram? But it doesn't sound like a name I've heard before. In any case, Michelle is the only person that I can understand what I'm going through. Now that makes sleep easier. I think I'm gonna stop here. This episode's way too long and I need a drink of water. So, we met Michelle. We know Max cannot come back, but as the person reading off the story, we can see Max's name flash before some of the text boxes, saying that he's still there. And we've been seeing Max pop in and out of this and whatever's. And Doug is having a hard time gripping reality. So what will happen next time? See you in a bit. Bye!